Previously on Spanish channel.
Alright, it's another novel. This seems legit. Kelly drift off to sleep. End of story. Restart? What?
And an epic adventure continues.
What is up, Mama Jambos? Spaz is here. And how do you like to travel through your city? I really like underground, but I don't have one, so I have to take buses. And this game, welcome to in transit, and this game about bus, I guess. So let's get right into it. You're riding the bus to a bar for your friend's 25th birthday. The main lights illuminate the bus interior in a bright magenta. It reminds you of a latest Blade Runner film. Oh, although you never watched I really like that film. You really should watch it. Your roommate always likes to tease you about how few movies you've actually seen. She's sitting next to you. You have your head popped up on your hand as you lean against the window, looking away from her. No words are exchanged between you two, a rare moment of comfortable silence. You don't feel the usual bumbling urge in your throat to spew out words in a frantic pace. It's night outside. The bus passes over the bridge from northeast to northwest. It's a seemingly tenuous connection, 200 feet above the gaping maw of the river. You can see a skyline of the city clearly. The numerous bright lights gave the impression that the city always alive with the soft of youthful mania into the early hours of the morning. After being here for a couple years, however, you know that besides the odd 24-hour coffee shop or diner, the city tends to sleep well before midnight. You miss staying up until sunrise at the coffee shop down in Southeast. A late night heaven for the restless and the lonely. Last year you had spent numerous weekends furiously working on illustrations for a children's book you promised you'd had done by Monday, or the comic pages you got an extension on from writer because you were finished to your thesis at the same time. You had become so much of a regular that the barista would even give you an occasional free snack between the numerous refills of a teapot, when you finally started feeling drowsy, the cup of mocha. During those hectic times, you thought designer Bruce Moo. Free snack or Bruce Moo? Bruce Moo. Stay up late, strange things happen when you've gone too far. Being up too long, work too hard, and you separated from the rest of the world. That's true. You suddenly feel separated from the rest of the world right now. In this near empty bus, it's only passengers being you. Her, the bus driver, and two strangers, all bathed in the neon magenta. Is it you who is moving whisked along in the belly of a mental beast, or you're simply sitting still as everything else rotates beneath your feet? You may find yourself feeling detached from the world at large from the time to time. But you can no longer immerse yourself in that desired isolation that breeds creativity. Now you have roommates who sleep in the same bedroom as you, who share the same workspace as you, who eat, drink, shit, pay $300 for rent every month in the same small apartment as you. Isolation. You still got to go to coffee shop, staying up late, working on this and that, but while before you have been able to leave on a whim and return home on a whim, you now have roommates that question your motives. You're no longer able to wander freely, privately, both in the world and within the depths of your mind. Feeling lonely is so much worse when you are not actually alone. That's actually so true. I can so relate to that. Let's fucking go. Not being depressed. Woo! You do not consider yourself to be antisocial. People frequently describe you as the most introverted extrovert they ever met. You manage to make friends fairly easily, easily over the years thanks to one simple trick: do whatever it takes in every conversation to make them laugh. Oh boy, I feel a little bit into. But you'll learn that playing the self-appointed court jester means that when the audience wants to prove them something more than amusement, you run away, terrified. That sort of thing is outside of your expertise. You distance yourself and bemoan how difficult it is to connect with others on a deeper level than the cheap jokes and laughs. And by the time you drain the inker from your self-inflicted emotional wounds and stop feeling sorry for yourself, they're already gone to someone else with their problems, and you can go back on stage and perform once again. Dance, Jester, dance! He has been so crabby lately. Yesterday he just snapped at me when I asked him how his day was. She's talking about your other roommate, who had opted off the party tonight to sleep in. You nod in agreement as you ignore a pang of guilt. You secretly wish you had the same audacity to verbally lash out when she asks you the same question day after day. You know it's a nice gesture and an attempt to strike up a conversation, but you hate admitting to her just how empty your working hours are. Can't she get a clue from how your tension spikes up in the room every time she makes that particular inquiry? And yet she continues to routinely ask without fail, "How was your day?" You've been feeling the tension more and more lately, increasing the desire you always get when you're around people for you long to pack your bags, jump onto a bus under the cover of the night and set off to America's middle of nowhere without a single goodbye. You hope that impulse would have been curbed when you moved in with them. They were supposed to be different than the rest. Together you're supposed to be a team. They were your closest friends from college. The three of you had drifted towards each other during those precious and formative years, as if survivors in a wreck trying desperately not to drown. You share with them inside jokes in quiet tones, 1/3 the price of takeout from the Chinese restaurant down the street from the studio, and gossip of the other students. They share with you late-night conversation around race, being apart from this diaspora, proclamatious of love, and plans for a shared future. Others invited the closeness of your tight-knit group. It seemed only logical and cheaper that you would end up living with them. But the tension came back, and it had only gotten stronger each time the three of you made plans and wrote down the ideas for the artist collective you're definitely going to start up later in the year. Or whenever we had talked about upcoming conventions and moving together to LA or Detroit. Or whenever she made a comment about how she was positive you were all gonna be friends forever. You can't stand a presumptionist. All you ever wanted from others is to be entertained and entertain them in return. The idea of friends forever and the expectation that come with it is uncomfortable, not entertaining. And yet you still desire to be close to others, to be understood, to just don't want to go through the messy work of fostering intimacy by taking your ugly thoughts and shaping them into the right words. A mindset common for someone your age is selfishness of youth that can never be satisfied. She makes a joke about how the birthday boy is particularly an old man now. Her being a year older than him colors the joke with a shade of self-deprecation. You reassure her that no, you guys are not old, you're a bunch of 20-something who are free to be self-absorbed shitheads and take meandering path because fuck everyone else's expectations. You're young, and that's what young people do, and everyone's probably going to end up dead by your mid-30s because of climate change anyways. You both get the sneaking suspicion you're trying to reassure yourself. It's the night before you leave for the city once more, and the three of you are in his car outside 7-Eleven by her house. He and you are eating Dippin' Dots, something you were both very excited to find stocked in 7-Eleven of all places. You're both sad to find how disappointing ice cream of the future really is. There is hardly any flavor and the tiny flash frozen pellets, and since it didn't come with one of those flat wooden spoons that reminds you more of a tongue depressor than a spoon, you had to resort to eating it with your fingers, quickly resulting in sticky hands and arms. The three of you chat about future, which you hope is brighter than the Dippin' Dots seem to promise. They finished up school while you've been out in the real world for half a year now. You talk about struggles you've been having trying to find work and how everything tells you that you'll be fine, you just wait it out and the work will come to you. She talks about nursing school and how she supposes furniturate that the world will always need nurses before trailing off, leaving the words but not illustrators unspoken. You can find it yourself to feel the least bit indignant. You don't tell her that up until a year ago, you made plans to never live past 26, at the age she is now. Things are different now, but you think 75 is a fine age to expire, 5 years older than your father. A phone call, a coming out, you're crying, trying to get the words, what? How much longer till I stop? You check your phone. About 15 minutes, you tell her as such. You both fall back into silence. Check Instagram, check Facebook messages, text messages. There is unread message from your mother. Open it. It's a good night message followed by a string of hearts and hot eye emojis that 3 times longer than the actual written message. She makes it a point to send you one of these every night. Her last message before this is her saying how proud she and dad are of you. How don't need to worry if there is no jobs in the immediate horizon, and they're always there for you because you're the family. Oh, you're so afraid of disappointing her that you desperately wished she hated you instead. You quickly type "love you too mom, good night" and send it back. Oh. Check Facebook Messenger. You took a look from past messages from here down. You smile, thinking how despite your misanthropic flare-ups, this group of friends had been exceptions. You consider yourself lucky that you've managed to stay friends with them since high school, even after moving away from college. Your time with them, whenever you make the occasional trip back home, feels light and effortless compared to your home in the city. It's not a coincidence that the friends you spend the last amount of time with in persons are the ones you feel the greatest fondness for. None of them are online. Twitter, feeling emboldened somehow, you decide to shout your feelings about 400 something followers. You type out, "The fuck you don't get the same creative fulfillment making art. It sucks, bruh." Tweet. You send a tweet. Alright? You decide to delete it. What would they know? Oh, anyways. Alright, Instagram. You scroll through an endless stream of images, friends at work, in progress for upcoming comic, a mutual's recent editorial job, a baby photo from the art director that hasn't emailed you in 3 months, a former classmate, 100 heads drawing college challenge. You quickly scroll back in an attempt to keep creeping jealously at bay, click through the stories instead. You'd end up viewing your ex story, an image of sunset from a rooftop with some filter that's too bright and has so much contrast while he rambles in the overlaid text about importance of love and connection to each other and to nature. You scoff. Not because of any residual bitterness from being dumped on 3-year anniversary of your relationship, but because of how absolutely corny he's become. He? Wait, am I a girl? Was I a girl all this time? You've changed too. It's only fair. Alright. What the fuck is this? You've never seen this app before. Is this malware? Press it, curious. Oh no. Oh no, boys. You're a fraud. Not by conscious choice, by a lack of trying. You thought someone would just tell you how it works, how to be human. So somewhere along the way you decided you were so pathetic that you just given up to trying to figure it out. Everything about you is backwards. Your body, your mind, all of it. Just throw the whole damn thing away. The warranty is already null and void. You feel you're already bind chest feeling even tighter. It's getting harder to breathe. Something coming. Nothing's right. What is wrong with you? It's like the pivot of a fulcrum where stay up or down hurts more and more. I want to stop. I want to be in transit forever. I want you to talk to me. I want to be ignored. I want you to love me. I want you to hate me. You're the reason my existence has any meaning. It wouldn't mean anything to me if you went away forever. Somehow in the way that only imperfections of the human mind can rationalize, they are simultaneously true. Shit. Maybe you are not the problem. Maybe everyone else is, with their contradictions, their half-lies, quarter-truths, and the hate so much fucking hate in charge in this garbage world. And yet, despite the herd of suffering that seems to get worse and worse with every tweet and every Facebook chain post and every news segment, you still don't feel their hurt. Others hurt, you only know logically that it's wrong all wrong. Did growing up in these times steer you out capacity for emotional empathy, or were you just born without it? You're a child visiting your grandparents. You're quiet as you usual are during these integrated family get-togethers. You don't like confronting these figures who, in your mind, represent the horrible reality of non-existence that will behave you all the day with their sagging skin and their yellow teeth and their thinning hair. You can keep everything under control if you just don't talk. But then your mother grabs you after lunch and at the retirement home and says to you in a hushed, angry tone, "Talk to them. Grandpa is probably not going to be around for much longer." And you snap. You storm out into the parking lot and start screaming. You just have to yell and yell until your throat is hoarse and raw. You need to feel it. It needs to hurt. Your dad comes out after hearing you and tries to get you to stop by hugging you as tightly as he can, his largest statue completely enveloping you. It makes him feel real and present. You are not comforted. It just reminds you that one day he will die as well. You continue to scream, the sound muffled by his chest pressed against your face. 4 years later, your grandpa dies on the other side of the country. Your dad goes alone to the funeral, not even bothering to ask you if you want to come. It's first personal experience with death, and you aren't even allowed the opportunity to confront it. Now death is just an abstract concept for you to feel indifferent about, and that makes you feel even more like a closed monster. But it's not my fault. You look up from your phone, a terrible low hum enters your brain. You see everything around you start shimmering and magenta glow becomes brighter. You look outside the window again, there are no more city lights, just an impermeable blackness. It's not my fault. What driver, the other passengers, your roommate, their boundaries are melting away. The stench of flesh soaking in the air, and everything with them is bleeding out as a steady stream. There seems to be so much more inside than a human body could ever possibly contain. Your roommate grabs your arms and shakes you violently. Is she screaming at you? Angry? Afraid? Joyful? It's not my fault. You can't tell anymore. She has no throat. It's not my fault. They all become one now, just a cloudy pool that covers the bus floor. You stand in on them, all alone. The slush against your ankles, the magenta light is blinding. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. Be better. Be better. Be better. Be better. Be. Did you want to stop back there? What? Did you want to stop back there? The bus driver repeats. Sorry, I didn't see it. You say yes, you did. She apologizes. I can't just drop you off here if that's alright. You say that's fine. Driver lets you out and your friend off at the corner of construction site. Your fingers are freezing from the night air as you check the location of the bar again. You and her start to estimated 8-minute walk. Did you bring your keys? She asked 2 minutes in. You did. You never leave without them. Oh, I forget to bring them all the time. It's my fatal flaw. The idea of being forgetful about your keys is comparable to obvious arrogance or Hamlet's hideous strikes, and you're remarkably funny that you laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh until the sound is so infectious that she joins the laughter as well. As you two continue to track the bar light, laughing all the way, you silently hope that in a couple of years down the road you can look back at this night and laugh at it as well. And what? Whoa, 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 whoa. Boys and girls. Whoa. That was 25 minutes of this little story about a girl, I guess, illustrator, and how it's like how to become grown up after you're a kid. I don't know what to say about it because I'm just feeling kind of same because I'm just dropped in after high school into this like grown-up life. So it's hard. It's really hard. If you are Majambasar like in the school, just enjoy yourself. Just enjoy yourself. Don't bother. The future is in the future. Just don't waste your time. I mean, waste your time to the things you like too. So yeah, I think I'll leave it here with your comments down below. What you think about this story? I'll just put the whole 25 minutes of this, and I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, smash that like button, subscribe, the notification bell to know when my videos go live. I upload every single day. So I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.